Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today?
Good.
How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio.
Welcome to First Contact Radio.
To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
It's time to
arrived.
demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
It's time
arrived.
to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Hope you had a great weekend. So today here in America, we're celebrating Labor Day. It's a day for all of those who are hardworking laborers to take a day off and just kind of celebrate who you are, celebrate the work you've done. So good job to all of the hardworking Americans out there, doing a great job. Keep up the good work. All right, now let's move on to our cosmic weather today, see what we have to deal with. Starting off over looking at our astrology, the planets and the stars for today. We're at the 2nd of September. Sun sign is in Virgo, which is an earth sign. Earth signs are about bringing the other elements, fire, the water, the air, down into the physical form. And those other fire, water, and air would be representative of ideas, of emotions, and mental thoughts, mind. So we're trying to bring all of these things down into the physical world, and so that's where we find the practicality. We need to be practical in the way that we do it. We need to be wise in the way we do it, and by bringing all of these things down into the physical world, well, we can operate in the physical world with the tools available to us that we need. The sun sign is, as I said, is Virgo, an earth sign, and the moon sign here is Leo, which is a fire sign. So we have earth on the outside, conscious mind, unconscious fire, and just think how those two things work together. You can make some nice, great ceramics using fire and earth. Fire can get really hot, it could burn the earth. Earth can overwhelm the fire and can snuff it out. So there's a lot of different ways they can work, but ultimately working together is the best way possible. We have a triangle here. Actually, before that, we have a square between Saturn, discipline, and Leo. So Leo, that creative fire nature, has to find some way to discipline itself. Leo can be very proud and boastful if it is not really held in check. So maybe that's part of the lesson, that discipline that needs to be there, not puffing out our chest too much. Then we go down at 6 o'clock tonight, 6:09 p.m., there's a triangle, a trine, between Uranus and the moon. So Uranus is expected, unexpected changes, sudden changes, things of this nature, surprises, and this goes along with our creativity, with those ideas. So we'll see how that unfolds, but those are what we're dealing with today. We jump over here to look at our moon phase. We're just about down to that new moon again, only 8% of the way full. Be there soon enough. The Mayan Oracle, we are on the wave spell of the warrior, and we pick up today here at this white wind. It's the 7th day, which is called the resonant tone. The 7th tone is the resonant tone of attunement, so today would be the resonant wind guided by the wizard. Resonant wind guided by the wizard. Inspiration, timelessness, so we have resonant or attunement of inspiration guided by timelessness. If we look at the phrase for today, it's I channel in order to communicate inspiring breath. I seal the input of spirit with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of timelessness. We look over at spaceweather.com, 425.8 kilometers per second. Planetary K-index is between a 2 and a 3. It was up high over the course of this weekend. It's a little bit lower, but we're not back down to that 1 yet. We got another corona hole taking place there and a few other small ones we could see up here. All, of course, put solar wind out into the cosmos, and depending on which way it's directed, we may down here on Earth get hit with some of that. That's what causes some of this geomagnetic storm activity and things that we see in the skies, the auroras and so on. And we could see that this activity is pretty low. However, it was at 1%. Now M-class flare is up to 5%. We'll see if that's going, which way it's going to be going. And geomagnetic storm activity, 45%. If you're in the high latitudes, it could be something severe. Otherwise, not too much of anything. Just one note to keep an eye on. We'll talk about this in a little bit. That space fence that they were going to discontinue October 1st. Well, there's reports that it was down on the 1st of September. We'll get back to that. I want to go here and get a little bit more updated info. This is 3-minute news, suspicious observers for today.
Good morning, folks. NASA's Earth Observatory with the shot of the day. Phytoplankton bloom covering most of Lake Ontario. As we heard last night, the replacement for the space fence is on deck, but the old one was taken down yesterday morning. You could find this and its last captures all together at spaceweather.com. So I put out 3 videos yesterday: the morning news, a website FYI because people keep asking, and Section 2 of Agenda 21 Counterstrike. Every citation and part of each chapter will be public. Observers who regularly watch premium content don't need the middle video. Folks, we have a chilly situation in South America. High pressure drives counterclockwise in the south while low pressure drives clockwise. That means they both pull Antarctic air north at their convergence, and they are indeed creating significant cold events across a few nations there. Buoy in event mode near PNG. Very minor deviation. Will come back to the nearby quakes. Top weather watch appears to be weakening. Kiko still unsure of which road to choose as she approaches Baja. Complementing the reported double-tap gamma burst yesterday, a third from Scorpius was detected. When we look at the sunspots, they are fickle and headed off the disk. Some magnetic mixing is developing in a few of the active regions, but they're just not producing significant flares. Coming to the solar wind, perhaps the CME impact has arrived, already overdue and seemingly slower and less dense than predicted. We haven't caught the wake yet, but so far the geomagnetics are slowly building instability, and the more sensitive charts do indeed indicate that some form of impact occurred in the last 5 or 6 hours. Something interesting, GOES is clear, but ACE shows a brief high-energy proton spike. Technically, that was a momentary radiation storm here on Earth. Given the CME potentially arriving now, and more streams on the way, near-Earth space is energized. Ceres is still geocentrically opposed to Neptune today, and folks, how do these coronal holes just keep coming? Got the next one coming in, refusing to wait his turn. Watch score is 6 to 7 with uptick precursors across the planet. This region here is most unstable, but we are also having unusual and significant tremors north, like way, way north. Had a plasma filament rip off the sun to kick off September 2nd, pretty Earth-facing longitudinally, but most of the blast should miss south. If you're watching this, you can access more up-to-date satellite images. Got some other filaments to see and beautiful shots of our star to close. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.
Alright, very good. Thank you for that report, suspicious observers. Moving right along. Alright, so I'm going to try to, the effort is to keep moving forward to where we're headed. I'm not talking about all the Earth problems, because we know we have plenty of those, right? Plenty of Earth problems. So what we're going to do is I'm going to focus this week during the first part of the show in this segment here on Dolores Cannon. The reason I want to talk about Dolores Cannon is because of the information that she brings out is very valid. One of the things she talks about, amongst others, she talks about UFOs and Atlantis, and you'll hear all of this stuff this week. But she's also been talking about how our Earth is separating and how our Earth is pulling apart dimensionally, and there will be a separation, and there will be some souls who will go with the new Earth as it pulls apart, and some souls that will remain with the old Earth as it's breaking apart. Just depends which way you're going to go. So we'll hear all about what she has to say in that regard. First thing I want to do is I want to bring you to this website of hers so you can see where to find her and learn all about Dolores Cannon, it's DoloresCannon.com, DoloresCannon.com. Just go there, and she's got tons of great information. Let me give you a little brief here on Dolores. It says Dolores Cannon. Dolores' career as a hypnotherapist spans almost 50 years and has taken her on an incredible journey along countless fascinating destinations. As the range of topics her work covers and sheer volume of original material she has produced places her in a category of her own. This section has been provided to give you insight into each stage of her career and how it progressed over the years. Read about the early days in hypnotherapy when she first discovered past life regression. Learn how she developed and refined her own unique technique of hypnosis, discovering all the captivating areas of research she has explored on her path, and learn where her work is currently focused. Please select the section you want, which you have the most interest. And here we have the early life and pre-hypnosis, the first exposure to reincarnation, practicing hypnosis full-time, the subconscious and quantum healing, hypnosis, Jesus and the Essenes, her abilities expanded, Nostradamus contacts Dolores, UFOs, extraterrestrials, life on other planet, the convoluted universe, the three waves of volunteers, 2012 and beyond. Okay, and you go to each one of these sections, and there's a lot of information there about what happened, what was going on. All right, so that will give you a good clue about Dolores, so you can check through that this week. In the meantime, I want to jump over now to a video. We're going to start this video off for the week. It's called Dolores Cannon 2012 and Beyond. Alright, so this is a good little starting point. And here we go. Alright, here she is, Dolores Cannon 2012 and Beyond.
I'm a hypnotherapist, and I've been doing past life regression and hypnotherapy for over 45 years. I've been in this a long time. When I started out 45 years ago, there was nobody knew about reincarnation, nobody knew about past lives, there was no metaphysics, there was no New Age. It was at the very, very beginning of everything. Now, it's a little hard for the younger generation to understand that, but there was a time when none of this existed. And I was way back at the beginning of that. What I was using hypnosis for 45 years ago was just habits, stop smoking, lose weight, and to relax people. And it was all done with the old-fashioned methods. Watch the shiny object, all of those things. So I've come a long way. I don't want to go too much into the background, but during those 45 years, like I said, I don't channel and I'm not a psychic. All of my material for my books comes from my clients. And I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of people during that time. I consider myself to be the reporter, the investigator, the researcher of lost knowledge. As I get all of my material from the people that I work with when I'm doing the therapy sessions. I do the therapy and the consultation with my clients. And they usually come to me with problems. Now they're coming with mostly physical problems. But during that, we get amazing information that comes out. So that's what I accumulated in my books. But it doesn't come through one person. I may get one piece of information from somebody on one side of the world, then I'll get more information about the same topic a week later on the other side of the world. So my job is to put all these pieces together like a puzzle, and then you get this story. And when you have hundreds and hundreds of people saying the same thing, you know it has to have validity. Because they don't know what I've found, and they don't know even what I'm looking for. I never know what I'm looking for either until it all gets together. But that's what I've been doing, and I now have 17 books out, on every phase of metaphysics there is, and I'm working on 3 more right now. And they said, which one's next? And I said, whichever one gets finished next will be the next one, because I never know where all this is going. But during that time, I found that the normal hypnosis wasn't doing it. So I developed my own technique, and it's not like any other hypnosis technique out there. It's totally different, because I found a way during those 45 years to contact what I call the source of all knowledge, where you can have the answers to any questions you want. It's a little complicated. I don't want to go into too much on explaining that. I know there's a lot of my students are in the audience, and they already know what I'm talking about. I'm teaching my technique now all over the world. But I found how to contact this source. First it was by accident, and then I found out how to bring it in every session that I have. We can have the answers to everyone's problems, and we have instantaneous healing in one session. That is the main part of what I'm teaching now, is how to do this, how to use the client's own mind to heal them of anything. And I mean anything. We are having doctor verifications of all these cases all over the world. I have doctors and psychiatrists taking my classes now and are incorporating it into their own I want to say profession, their own business, I guess you would say. But it's being proven time and time again, this is how powerful your own mind is. You don't really know the power that you have. And this is what I've discovered with this and how people use it. And we have miraculous healings every day in my office. And my students are now reporting the same thing. I've been over here since July, and I've done 4 classes already, all over Europe. And I won't be back home until October. We have more classes to go. And I'm conducting them everywhere. And to me, it's so satisfying to see that the students are getting it. They know how to apply it, and it is working everywhere. One doctor that took the class a few months ago told me, you have discovered the new medicine. So that's my main thing I'm focused on. But the other material that comes through are the answers to any questions you could possibly want to know. And that's where all my metaphysical books have come from, especially the Convoluted Universe series, to where we keep giving me more and more complicated theories and concepts. Just when I think I've got it all figured out, they throw me another one. At the end of Convoluted 3, I told them, I guess that you have told me everything there is to know. I don't think there's anything left that you can tell me. They said, oh no, there's more, there's a lot more. So then it ended up being Convoluted 4. And those books are about 600-700 pages long. And I had to have Convoluted 4 done last November. I was on a deadline. So I took out 300 pages out of that book, or it wouldn't have been done in time. It's still 700 pages. So that's the basis for another book that I'm working on. So the material just keeps pouring out of my clients, and none of them know what the other ones have said. That's the amazing thing, that this cannot be faked. But what we're going to talk about tonight has to do with the 3 waves of volunteers and the new Earth that we're going into. Here we are in 2012, and it's not the end of the world. This is the beginning of everything. You're living in the most exciting time in history, more than you could possibly imagine. This is the greatest time to be alive right now, and you did choose to be here. So what we're going to go over is the whole process that led us up to this point. And a lot of this is in my new book. I wrote 2 books last year. It was the first time I ever did 2 in 1 year. One of them was the 3 waves of volunteers, and then the convoluted form. But the theories that I'm going to tell you have taken many years to put together from pieces of puzzles until finally it began to make sense. These people are telling me something that is following a pattern. This can't be gotten through one person. It comes through many. So I began to see patterns developing in my work. And that's what I began putting these theories together about. But first I've got to tell you where the majority of you are right now, I guess, in your development, where we're at this time. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to go back to the beginning of everything. It's the only way you're going to understand how you got to this point. By the beginning, I mean the very beginning of where we all came from. And my clients come in when they have their list of questions. They always want to know, where did I come from? And I said, we all came from the same place at the same time. And they said, no, I want to know my home planet. I said, you don't have a home planet. You have a school that you attended on another planet, but that's not your home. Your home is the same where we all started out. And we all began at the same time, at the same place. We all started with God, or they call him the source of everything. That's where we all began. And I have had many of my clients go back to the times when they were still with God. So we've been able to get an accurate picture of what God is and how this whole thing works. And it's quite amazing.
All right, pretty good, right? So there's a nice little introduction to Dolores Cannon, and I'm going to be playing more of Dolores all week long. So check it out. Listen to the shows. Check out her website. All right, UFO News is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk, thank you very much. Today's UFO News has 6 stories. So, first one. Talked about this last week. This is now footage of the big rock that we saw, or ship. So now it's starting to get more play out there. Here is some footage of the Comet ISON close up. These 2 cigar-shaped objects are orbiting the comet. I believe these are UFOs either hiding with the comet so they won't be detected by aliens, or even more likely, they're escorting, guiding the comet to an unknown destination so that aliens could harvest the valuable minerals it contains. This is also the second video in recent days of this comet. The first one shows the comet is actually 3 different parts, 2 long and 1 round. This new video confirms its fact. 2 videos confirming the same thing. This is not coincidence. Now for the scary part. The comet is supposed to pass so close to the Earth that you'll be able to see it with a telescope. Are these UFOs guiding the comet to use to impact the Earth? The comet is 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles across, enough to do the job, an extinction event. Look at it this way. When scientists finish an experiment that they all used dogs or monkeys in, when the experiment is finished, they destroy all the animals. In this way, the experiment will not pollute any other possible experiments. If humanity is just an alien experiment, then this is what we can expect one day. Okay, Wiki states about the comet as close as approach. It will pass around 0.0724 AU from Mars on October 1st. It will pass about 0.429 AU from Earth on December 26th. Okay, so obviously something is going on with this that is of significance that we need to pay attention to. There's a lot of people trying to debunk this video, as you'll find if you check out online. And for some reason, the big rocket was sent up from Vandenberg Air Force Base. They said it was a new spy satellite. And then right afterwards, the space surveillance system, the Air Force Space Surveillance Gate, has been shut down. These are the reports we have that it's been shut down already, not October 1st, but now. So what are we going to not get information-wise from the space surveillance system? I don't know. We're just going to have to keep our eye out for other sources that are out there, because this in the United States is not the only place that is tracking what's going on out there. So we'll find other ways, and there's lots of other places. We just need to understand that if they're shutting something down, there's a reason. It's not just some random event, okay? And in terms of this object here, this big object, okay, there have been thoughts about, well, what if they're bringing this closer so they can throw it down to Earth? You know, kind of like, remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? The question was this what happened then? Was this a big rock that was thrown down at us? Well, maybe, but the question I'd have to ask is that, why would they drag a big rock like this all the way through space? There's plenty of near-Earth objects around all the time. We see them and hear about them all the time passing by. So why would they drag one all the way through when they could just easily find one in the local system? Right. So there's something more going on with this. Okay, I don't believe it's just they're going to throw it at us and then we're going to get destroyed. There's something more important, and what seems to be the idea is that this is a ship. When you look at it, I see a cube. I see a cube right here, okay? You see a cube? I do. And you got the top, the sides. If you remember the video, if you watched the movie the Killuminati video last week, you recall that they talked about the black cube. And here is a cube object. So is this one of these type objects, or is that, you know, do these have nothing to do with each other? Don't know. Jalila Star, the woman who claims to be a messenger from Nibiru, or receiving messages from those on Nibiru, she says this is a ship. We'll find out. There's a lot of speculation. We shall see, though. That's the interesting and curious part. So October 1st, thereabouts, is going to be passing by Mars. So all eyes will be watching Mars, see how Mars is affected by this. That'll give us some idea what we might expect down here. Alright, let's move on to our next story. Next story here is above Tokyo, and this was on the 30th of August. There we go, a couple lights up in the sky. Alright. There we go. 3 lights up in the sky there. What are they? That is the question. Alright, the link will be available so you can check it out. See what you think about this. Alright, and as we know, they're certainly having lots of challenges with nuclear issues over there in Tokyo. All we could do is hope for the best. Next, we're going to go over to Melbourne, Australia. This was on the 2nd. So just brand new. This says that first camera, let's see, I watched the thing as it flew up into the sky. He was filming with a Samsung SDC 435, second camera, P80 78 HP. This is the real deal. Been doing this for about 5 years. Never seen anything like this. Okay, so this is the ISS right here, she's saying. Approximately 20 minutes later, I noticed a part of the sky light up. What I witnessed astonished me. Alright, look at that. That's pretty good brightness that suddenly happens there. Alright. So what would suddenly make the sky become that bright? Here's the whole footage right here. Pretty interesting, huh? Look at that. Look at how it just moved around. Oh no, that's the camera movement. Okay. Okay, as we keep moving around, we just see. So check it out, see what you think, but it's pretty fascinating since something lighting up the sky like that. Alright. Now we move over here. This is Russians fear UFO as objects streak across the sky. The flash across the sky at 7:25 a.m. causes sensation in the Russian Far East on Sunday, with social sites exploding with theories over the dramatic flashes from the fireball. Witnesses in Vladivostok claimed that it was a meteor of the kind that earlier struck the Urals. Some observers said the object streaking across the sky looked like a plane. Others called it a UFO buzzing the flood-ridden far east of Russia. All right, so what do you think it is? Is this a rock falling from the sky, or is this a UFO that it's making its way across? Next, new video emerges showing UFO activity at ECETI Ranch in Washington. That's a pretty good size object. It's not this size, it's actually right here. This is just enlarged. ECETI Ranch has long been famous as a UFO hotspot. We have run multiple stories about ECETI Ranch, and UFOs have been seen and filmed are the famous around the world. BBC ran a special on ECETI with Danny Dyer as the host. An exclusive new video uploaded in August on the 31st shows trees on the ECETI Ranch were backlit by a mysterious object traveling south over the floor of the White Salmon River Valley area, Mount Adams, Washington. The images were recorded with a Pulsar Recon X550 digital night vision camera. Okay, let's go down to the video. It says this case highlight challenges UFO field research where interference along the observation of line result in imperfect data collection leading to thoughtful speculation. These limits to physical measurement may point to the necessity for intensified efforts in developing intuitive means for evaluating contact related incidents. Okay, what we're looking at is large bright object behind the trees there. You see that? Something's going across. And just kind of images of where it was and all. Alright, so very good. Check it out. It's a good video. Moving on. Next we go here to another crop circle. We hadn't seen this one. This was very interesting one that happened on the 23rd. Alright, there's our object in question. Have we seen this one before? No. What do we have here? Let's start here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of these panels here. Interesting looking object. Kind of looks like a face with, the eyes that we know of the grays. We got the moon, some other symbols, at least looking at it from this way. Very interesting. So we'll find out if there's any explanation about what this is. But that is our UFO news for today. I'll be right back.
What if our government was responsible for some of the greatest crimes against this nation? Would you really want to know? These are big questions, but these questions deserve answers. It's time to demand the truth.
Alright, continuing on. So, I want to just kind of go over this real brief. I don't want to get heavy-handed on this because I'm sure you're getting plenty of this where you're at. We obviously hear about what's going on in Syria, this potential war that's going on. And then, of course, you heard Obama giving his talk, what was it, on Friday, Saturday? Man, he sure talks like he's got the authority. That's what he said. He has the authority, but he's going to do us all a favor and he's going to ask Congress. Whew! I'm just curious, and I'm sure there are a lot of other Americans are out there curious as what's happened with our military that this is allowed to go on. I mean, there's a lot of good men and women in the military. I'm not really certain why this man is still in office talking the way he's talking, because it really doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out that he's talking treasonous. It doesn't really take a brain surgeon to look back over our past and say that we have gone into countries to remove dictators from power for less. Yet this man is running rampant in America. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, if you're still out there from West Point and you're still listening to the show, listen, you're an academy filled with officers there. What's going on? What's happening? You know, where's the brave men and women in the military to step up against this tyrant? Or is he, has he got something on all of you or what? I don't get it. America's trying to find out. The land of the free, the home of the brave has been infiltrated, and there's a wannabe dictator who is running the show, who is making statements that he has the authority to do and bomb this country if he wants. No. But if we go back to the stories of this man as the Antichrist, it all plays into it. The guy has a Nobel Peace Prize, and now he wants to go and start wars. They don't fit together, my friends. One of these things is not like the other. War and peace, they're two different things. You can't say you're a peace guy and then go and fight a war and expect people to believe you. Unless, of course, this is the United States of America, where most people are too divided from their own common sense to be able to look at that objectively and realize they're different. But they're different, okay? So if you're not certain whether war and peace are different or the same, they are different. So hopefully someone will help out, but maybe this is part of the problem. This is an article exclusive. Pentagon may be involved in chemical attack in Syria. U.S. intelligence colonel hacked email reflect. The situation in Syria is still in focus of the world media. Experts predict another U.S. aggression for human rights. Washington regularly declares its readiness to attack Syria. The official version, to punish al-Assad and Syrian army for the use of chemical weapons against the civilian population. Meanwhile, the media has spread new proofs of the U.S. intelligence involvement in chemical attack near Damascus. Hacker got access to U.S. intelligence correspondence and published U.S. Army Colonel Anthony J. McDonald's mail. McDonald is General Staff Director, Operations and Plans Officer, the Deputy Chief of Staff for Intelligence. It's about chemical attack in Syria. Okay, I'm not going to go into you can read the article, but it just goes to show, it's pointing out that the criminals are pointing their fingers, trying to blame somebody else. That's not right. We've gotten dragged into so many wars in this country because of false flag events. A false flag event is when you do something and then you blame somebody else under their flag. They did it. Okay? We've been dragged into wars over and over and over and over and over and over again in this country. Americans, wake up, please. Let's not get dragged into another needless war where America goes in as a bully to invade a country. Let's not do that this time. We're smarter than that. I know most of the people in the country are, but the conditioning that has gone on has really affected many, many minds in this country to a way that it's just ridiculous how fooled people have become. I don't understand. Many don't. So what's going to happen? Well, this is a big concern out there. More false flag events is near horizon. The British Parliament does not buy the lies of the Obama administration, which have been invented as the pretext to take America to war with Syria and drag its allies into the conflict. The American people, by a 9-to-1 margin, are not in favor of attacking Syria. As a result, Putin is laughing at the clown that now occupies the presidency. If at first we don't succeed, then lie again. Should become a slogan for the criminal administration that's inhabiting the White House. So, the article's there for you. Again, a false flag is when you blame somebody else. We are told this is a dire situation, and it needed his immediate attention he was going to do. And then he couldn't get his way because there were those roadblocks that, he had to go and deal with Congress. So now we've got 9 days, it's 8 days now, or 7 days now, till this event is going to be dealt with by Congress. It's a lot of time between now and the 9th when something could take place. So we need to be on the alert for a false flag event. And if there's a false flag event, guess what? It probably and most likely would happen here in America so that we can go ahead and go into this war the way he wants it to be. Just pay attention out there, folks. Let's just put the good vibes out there to maybe, stop this man from doing what he's doing. Let's just surround this man with blockages of light so he can't do anything dangerous into the world. And let's just do that with all of the criminals that are out there. Let's just block them from what they're doing. We have the ability with our minds to be able to stop things. We have to first get control of our minds, and right now many don't have control. Many minds are being controlled by the media and by the New World Order agenda. You got to get control of your own mind first. Take that step. All right, so moving on, I want to play this piece here. It's about Comet ISON. Here we go. This is Thor News.
This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents Comet C2012 S1 ISON and WTF Earth. Seriously, bro.
Comet ISON proves NASA and official science 100% wrong, incorrect. Now, the belief that comets are omens or harbingers of change have been around for thousands of years, anywhere from 5 to 10,000. 10,000 being NASA's official guess at ISON's orbit, oddly enough. So for thousands of years, people, cultures, civilizations have believed that comets are omens and harbingers of change. Like if our solar system is a celestial clock, with the sun being the hour hand, planets being the little hand, the comets would be the hand that represents the seconds. And that things get weird when comets come around. Or the more weird the comet, the stranger things get. Now NASA and science have several times tried to convince people in the last 40 years that that is not true. That comets are not omens and that they are not harbingers of change. Well, I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, that it is 2013 and everything is totally fucking bizarre, strange, weird, crazy, out of its mind, off its axis, and out of its place. And I'm pretty sure the data backs me up. Even on the subject of the year of the comet and the comet of the century, at the moment, the pipeline of information is being dominated by amateur astronomers, charlatan animators, and YouTube pseudo-astronomy peasants. You can look at America, the shining lighthouse of freedom, being involved in 4 military actions in 4 different countries. You got digital iPhones, drones, like pretty much 1999 and Y2K. The big thing that happened was that technology became self-aware. It started nano-replicate. And I cannot remember a time in known history where technology has become self-aware. I mean, you ain't calling them smartphones for nothing. Volcanoes, setting records. Earthquakes, way up. Currency, freakier than ever. Fireballs, setting records. Meteors, setting records. And I'm really having a hard time finding any serious bodies that are truly searching for peace amongst mankind. And for all nations to take a break from their wars. Like, who is really out there trying to put a stop to all war? Who is out there profiting from war? That in the year of the comet, with the comet of the century, Comet C2012 S1 ISON, things are weirder than ever. That you cannot logically compare 2013, the strangest, weirdest, most bizarre year ever known to mankind, to any other year. Coincidence? Well, no, it's not. So I'm just saying that the civilizations and the people that have said for 10,000, 7,000, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 years that comets are omens. And omens can be good and omens can be bad. And comets are harbingers of change. The data seems to prove them correct. And in a time of big change, maybe everything could go from really shitty to super awesome in the blink of an eye. I've seen it before. It can happen. Will it happen? I don't know. Odds are against it. But Han Solo said, don't ever tell me the odds. Alright, it is totally Thor News, officially official. Comets are now a proven fact to be harbingers of change. And I mean solar system change. Probably even soul change. You know, many scientists and comet experts and professors and stuff have gone way out of their way to dispel the notion that like the universe is a giant clock, or planets are like the big hands and little hands of the clock. Comets are like the hand that ticks for seconds. Are you still with me? Did I lose you? Shite, cripe, dang. And that so thousands of years people have been saying comets mean something neither science nor modern religion can fully understand and define. Which I think they used to call kind of like the mystic and the magical. Which both science and religion have deemed either pretty much anything mystical or magical either evil or totally crazy. I'm saying as a neutral scorekeeper, chalk one up in pen for the mystics, bro. Poets, if you will. Say what you want to about the Book of Revelation. It has some amazing poetry in it. Say what you want to about Nostradamus. His writing has some amazing poetry in it. Say what you want about Jimi Hendrix. He has some amazing poetry pouring out of every part of his soul. So yeah, I guess for thousands of years, hundreds of years, people are saying like, hey, if a comet comes around, that means something. Stuff happens. Kings die, countries fall, war, chaos, terror, such reign. And in part, it's all just kind of like mental. So, in an electric emotional universe, comets really like the X factor. I don't mean like some dumb show, I mean like the factor of X. So at this point, like let's say modern science and stuff and school thought agreed that all the legends and wives' tales and bedtime stories about comets brought war and volcanoes, crazy weather, crazy people, crazy signs in the heavens. And then you take a look around it now, and like the standard rebuttal is there's always that crap going on Earth. So they're like science guys are taking a look around at the whole world right now, going, hey dude, the world has always been like this. Earth, in its 4.5 billion years, has always been covered in highways with giant skyscrapers, and everybody had cell phones, airplanes, and spaceships, war and lasers and Energizer bunnies, gas stations. And no matter what, even if ISON is a dud, which I still think, there's going to be a 0% chance that's going to happen. This legend has been fascinating from the beginning. And like Newton's second law, right? Body in motion stays in motion. Body rest stays at rest, unless acted on by an outside and superior force. Don't be mad, I just felt this had to be said. But I still think there's a chance that ISON is bringing Neo with him. ISON is coming and Neo will soon follow. And Neo's a cool dude, I think. And that's all I have to say about that. Alright, later.
Alright, very good. Very good. Always a good perspective from 4 News. Alright, this story here, breakthrough radio wave technology. A radio-treated water works miracles, by Zen Gardner. This is a major announcement. Well, we've known that the influence of vibration on water, even on the quantum level, has tremendous implications. Here we're seeing the tested use of this technology for good. Well, this is still, and will no doubt meet with a lot of criticism and opposition from the vested big Arga boys, it's still encouraging to hear about. Vibration is perhaps the most fundamental aspect of our universe. It shows how energy is transmitted and how reality takes form at the most profound levels. Slower vibrational organizations appear to be what we call physical, while higher vibration energies such as visible light and way beyond that into the quantum are much faster or higher. Cymatics is the study of interaction between sound and liquid and solid objects. It has resulted in amazing discoveries, even the use of vibration to vibrationally affect water with documented results. Wise men have known the use of vibration for thousands of years, and now modern science is finally catching up and to document it. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot more to this article about using vibrations to affect the water. We've talked about some of these things in the past. So there's a great article for you to check it out. All right, what I want to turn our attention to and what we're going to be looking at is the Book of Revelation. And from this point forward, every single day until we finish it, we're going to read the Book of Revelation. Why? Because this is a book that is filled with events that seem to be unfolding right now. Therefore, it seems important that we should know what's in the Book of Revelation. I'm going to start off here. I'm not going to play a video about it. I'm going to be reading it. Okay? That way you can see the words, and I'm going to read them. We're going to go through it. So today, Revelation 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servant things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare the record of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ, and of all things he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Jesus Christ, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto God and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall bewail because of him. Even so. Amen. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending, says the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. I, John, who am your brother and companion in tribulation, and in the kingdom and the patience of Jesus Christ, was in the isle that is called Patmos, for the word of God, and for the testimony of Jesus Christ. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a great voice, as a trumpet, saying, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. What thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spake unto me, and being turned I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and a girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto brass, fine brass, as they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive for evermore. Amen. And shall have the keys of hell and death. Write the things which thou hast seen, the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the churches, 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. That is the end of Revelation 1. Tomorrow we'll continue on with Revelation 2. There's 22 chapters. We're going to be reading a chapter a day for the next 21 days. Alright? So there you go, Revelation 1. That takes us over to our message here today, the Angeloi of the Elohim. This is the 30 from the 31st. Here we go.
Archangelic of the Elohim message for the 31st of August, 2013.
By Karen Doonan.
Greetings, beloved ones. We are the Archangelic of the Elohim, and we come to guide and to support as you now move fully into the spaces that your soul has asked for in preparation for the unfolding of the golden age of humankind. Many of you are now more than aware of the changes to your dimensional realities and are now working to align your soul with your human vehicle. This is a process that will now begin to accelerate for all upon and within planet Earth at this time. The movement of all out of the lower dimensional spaces is now, beloved ones, for the old 3D Earth reality is now folding in on itself. No longer supported by the energetic signatures of those who are alive upon the planet Earth, as all now move into the dimensional timelines requested by soul expansion. To clarify to you at this time, beloved ones, the dimensional reality that was referred to by many upon and within planet Earth as 3D Earth is no longer available. The dimensional space has now been dissolved from the consciousness of planet Earth. The dissolving of the consciousness of this reality from the human vehicles that exist upon and within planet Earth is now underway, and many of you may now feel the movement at waking human conscious mind level. Those who chose to live in the 3D Earth reality will be moved to the dimensional reality that appears to exist around them, reflecting this, but in truth they are cushioned from the barbarity of the frequencies associated with this dimensional reality. As human consciousness moves and expands, they will slowly move into a parallel reality that help them align with the higher dimensional realities that now are open and fully available to all. This is a process that at human conscious waking mind may try to tie your logical mind in knots, and we are reticent to go into too much detail at this moment. Know, beloved ones, that as human conscious now expands and deepens, then the knowing will begin to anchor deep within your waking conscious mind and reality. World events will now unfold that reflect the dimensional reality in which the planet Earth now resides, and we guide for all to understand the need to familiarize the human mind with other races and beings is part of this process. The movement of all into the waking reality of the family of light is now. This is an unfolding that will be moved through with grace and ease as human consciousness and human expansion now walk hand in hand with light and the love that is in truth. We ask for all to become aware of the need to find and maintain balance at a human conscious waking mind level and to breathe for all is and you are beloved ones. That which is referred to as miracles by the human race now prepare to birth around and within the human race, for as the boundaries begin to dissolve the knowing will begin to anchor. Now is the time to embrace the new earth, for you have each incarnated upon and within this planet in order to experience all that will now unfold around you and through you at all levels of your being. We are the Archangelic of the Elohim and we walk amongst you in human form. This will be shown to all in truth as the races that share the universe with the planet Earth now begin to make themselves known, both by their children in human form and in truth. That which the old Earth sought to teach you to fear is truth, and we ask for you to process our words through your heart space. All are one and all just are. The human race now birthed into a new waking reality and a dimensional space that supports them on all levels of their being. The love that is now intensifies across and within planet Earth as all now take their positions to birth into the new golden age of humankind. You do not walk alone, beloved ones. You have never walked alone, and now your human vision will begin to clear to new levels, and you will now feel and see those who have shared this dimensional space with you as you have adjusted to your new home in the universe of three in truth. Trust and faith in self, beloved ones, will see you expand beyond wherever you have gone before, no longer limited by frequencies that kept you in vibrational prisons, walking blindly around a planet kept in darkness. Now you are free to see clearly, to feel clearly, and to dance as the children that you are in truth of the new earth. Archangel Gabriel now sounds the trumpet of truth and asks that you listen closely on the inner planes of your being, for the angelic realms call to all just now. Be at peace, beloved ones, for you now birth into a new way of living and being in this your human form, upon planet Earth, in the dimensional space of the universe of 3 in the linear human year of 2013. 333, 444, 777, we guide for all to look and see and acknowledge the message that this codings brings to all at this time upon this planet. The keys have been turned in the doorways have opened and the light streams across and within the planet Earth and her children in truth. We are the Archangelic and we are here with you as you begin your walk in peace, love, truth, harmony, joy and serenity. Clear signs and symbols will be left in your outer waking life experience in order that you may anchor our words fully at human conscious waking mind level. The work done on the higher dimensional planes will now manifest in truth in the physical reality of the human life experience. Dream and be, beloved ones, for you are.
Alright, very nice message indeed. Alright, so you see there's definitely something going on. There's talk all around about these dimension shifts. What's your option? Do you really like what's going on down here? Do you like the way things are? Then, if you do, then I guess there's nothing you need to do. But if you don't really like what's going on down here, and you hear these messages, they're positive messages of change. No one's saying that, you know, they're coming down to harvest you, to, you know, to have you for the big celebration feast. This isn't what this is about. This is a positive change, a dimensional shift, and you hear talk coming from all sorts of places. So, seems that we should pay attention, right? Here's our angel message for today. Angel says, look a little deeper into what is going on and into yourself before going on with this situation. Always good advice. Let's take that with us as we go into our meditation for today. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale again. Now I want you to imagine that you are at your home looking out the front window. And as you look out, you see the world. You see the world the way it is now. And as you look deeper and more closely at the world, You see subtle changes that you hadn't recognized before. Changes in which vibrations are occurring. Changes in which energies are moving around the planet. You realize that as our planet has traveled through the solar system, it has moved into positions and places where the cosmic energies are assisting this change. And as you listen closely to the whisperings in the wind, you hear the change in the wind. You hear messages of peace and love coming from all around. And you realize that our very destiny is a destiny of peace, of love. You realize that the old way of war and hatred and anger is passing quickly before our eyes. And that we are at an opportunity to step away from all of this violence. And so we look at what is going on and we realize that all of these negative feelings, these negative thoughts, these negative attributes and qualities of war and fear and doubt and hatred, they're all passing away with the 3D world that is changing quickly to the fourth and to the fifth dimensional reality. And as we move into those realities, love, faith, hope, optimism, positivity, these are the qualities that are encouraged. So I want you to imagine walking through into that reality. And as you do, I want you to imagine that there is this invisible gate that you walk through. And as you walk through, if you carry any baggage with you of the fear or the hatred or the warmonger attitude, something blocks you from going forward and keeps you in the 3D realm. But as you move forward without any of these distractions or ugly attributes, you pass easily into the next place. And as you stand there and you look back, you realize that the universe itself is protecting all of those good beings upon the planet by allowing them to pass through. And all those in their war-like states are not allowed to pass forward with those old mindsets. And they can only come to understand by letting go of those ways. Are they allowed to pass? And in this way, the universe is separating who we are as divine beings from who we are as humans following mankind's ideas. There's a great difference, and we realize man creates war, but the universe creates life. Man looks at death and wants more death. Life continues to create more life. So as we look at life and we move forward along this next path, along the dimension that is spread before us, we give thanks to the great Creator for allowing us to be walking this path. Thank you, great Creator. We give thanks to all the power that ever was or will be that has allowed us to learn over the course of these lifetimes. And last, we learn to trust the universe, to trust each other. So let's imagine last sending out a ray of love all around the world, down into the planet, down to each and every one. And let our subconscious mind continue on that journey. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment, happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. And there you have it, my friends. That's it. That's our show for today. Look, a lot of challenges going on in the world, but we can get through all of these challenges because all they are is challenges. Okay? Remember, God wins at the end. God wins in the end, and we are at these end times. So be faithful, my friends. Be strong in your convictions. Good times are ahead. We just need to keep believing in the good and not get caught up in all the lies, because they're all around. They are all around. We have to understand that. We just don't get caught up. And by being smarter and being aware, helps you to not get caught up. That's it. I love you. Talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to send you out today with this song called Great Spirit. Peace. Talk to you soon. Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Shine down your light, shine down your light.